welcome to the Smart Life, Smart Living Conclave. Thank you, Jyoti, for joining us. And I think, yes, we're all set to start this exciting day with our first session, where we plan to explore the future of wearable health devices, from tracking fitness to even preventing diseases. Technology is changing, right? And I'm so glad that you're here. You're the co-founder of Fittr, and the app basically has leveraged technology to change how we look at fitness, how we approach fitness. So before I start talking about how you've transformed lives of people when they look at fitness, I want to talk about smart living. When somebody says smart living, the thought that comes to our mind is smart tech, smart technology at home, smart technology in our hands. But I guess people need to realize that it's not just smart living, it's about how smartly we're also working towards a healthier, a fitter lifestyle. And that's where Fittr comes in. Something that started off as a Facebook community is now a global platform. So tell me more about Fittr, tell us more about Fittr and your journey.
So Fittr, we started about 8 years ago. It's funny when people call Fittr a startup because we've been around for a long time. We did start as a Facebook group, and it started with the intent of helping people simplify their fitness journey because as a lot of you would have experienced, fitness can be quite confusing. There's just so many myths about fitness, and me and my co-founders, we started this group in order to help people, and slowly there was demand for us to commercialize and provide those services. Like people were happy to pay for it because initially we started by educating people, and it reached a point where people were just like, we don't want to know how it works, just tell me what to do. So we started selling plans. We have about 400 coaches now on our platform, and people can enroll with those coaches. We made sure that our coach, so what's unique about us is that our coach knows about nutrition as well as exercise science. So there's one person who gives you both those plans. And we've had phenomenal transformations. We've grown by word of mouth. We've not spent as much on marketing as you see people do these days. We are very active on social media because we believe that for you to invest in your fitness, you need you need that that support and that confirmation from someone else to say, try this platform, it works. Try this service, they know what they're doing.
So like you said, fitness can be very confusing. So I'm very sure you have a community of people who have a fitness goal, but some goals can be rather unrealistic. घर पे शादी के 10 दिन बाद हमें 5 किलो कम करना है. So how do you tackle those unrealistic expectations where people ask you 5 kgs or 10 kgs in 10 days? That's your target. I want to lose it all.
Yeah, so people come with unrealistic targets. I mean, we all have unrealistic targets about various things in life. There's always a saying that we always overestimate what we can do in a few weeks, but we always underestimate what we can do in 2 years. So what we focus on with our clients is consistency. When people come with their unrealistic expectations that I have to lose, इस महीने शादी है या कोई function है and I need to lose 5 kilos to look fit, we suggest to them that you wear those compression garments or whatever have you. We will not spoil your health. So we tell them, get started. So with Fittr, the minimum plan that you can engage with or that you need to commit to is 3 months. We don't do lesser than that because that's how much time it takes for you to engage with the plan, work on your mindset, and see real change. So we ask for that commitment from people who enroll with us.
So I'm sure people, when they say that, yes, for the next 365 days, I've got it all sorted, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to sleep healthy, but then 2 days later is when life takes over and when work takes over and then fitness probably takes a backseat. How do you help people tackle that? I mean, a lot of us are working, studying, so how do we manage, what is your suggestion to manage fitness between everything else?
I think your question is brilliant, given that we are entering the festive season. So everyone wants to enjoy the festive season. Diwali की मिठाई खानी है, दशहरा में enjoy करना है, and then Christmas comes, and then everyone's busy with the party season. We don't even say 365 days of fitness. We talk about a fitness lifestyle. So you should be able to carry fitness with you every day for the rest of your life. That's what we'll help you do and deal with. If you have that mindset that I am a fit person, regardless of your size, you will do things that will take you to that point in life. So there is no 10 days of fitness or 20 days of fitness. It has to be a part of who you are.
It has to be a part of your lifestyle. You have to have that mindset, absolutely. Yes. So now, with Smart Life, Smart Living Conclave, and tech and health are going hand in hand.
Yes.
Technology is rapidly changing. Technology is helping us understand so much more about our body in a much easier manner. Now you've got wearables checking your heart rate, your oxygen, even detecting early signs of illness. So now, where do you see this tech going with health? How reliable is it? Where do you see this going?
So when we talk about making fitness a part of your lifestyle, a large part of it is to make sure that you are aware of where you are in terms of your health. Usually people recommend साल में एक बार आप अपना medical checkup करा लो, test करा लो. And a lot of people get surprising results which they're not happy with, and the doctor recommends please go and lose some weight or take XYZ medicines. Before then, I think what tech allows you to do is preventive medicine, and your doctors will not tell you this, your clinician, physician will not tell you this. All of this can be moved forward by many, many, many years, if not decades. So a lot of people who come to us, उन्होंने already काफ़ी कुछ try कर लिया होता है, वो काफ़ी medicines पे होते हैं. We have different packages for them as well. However, tech allows you to bring into your life everyday measure of some of the things that you need to do right, which is sleep, right? Physical activity, we all know of, it was going to be there in there somewhere. Food is fuel for the activities that you do in the day. So you have to eat smart, eat right, not eat less. Okay, that's like a lot of people who enroll with us, they are surprised at the amount of food we give them to eat, because they're not used to eating some of the things that the rice, the home food that you have in the quantity that we give them, and increasing protein in the diet, which is filling. So you're never hungry when you're on a diet with us. So nutrition, sleep, hydration, you have to make sure you're hydrated. A lot of us don't drink enough water. And what tech does is, it nudges you at the right points of day to make sure that you're keeping these things in check. When it comes to physical activity, of course, the indicators are there. Aap heart rate check kar lo. You can check, the easiest thing which I think a lot of you would already be doing is checking the number of steps. Aap kitne steps kar rahe ho, which is a starting point. When you start doing cardiovascular activities, lifting weights, etc., your resting heart rate, which is your heart rate when you are at rest. If your heart is strong, that resting heart rate will be, so the athletes have their resting heart rate in their 40s. Because one pump of heart is so strong that it will send the blood wherever it needs to go in the body. The unfit you are, the higher will be your resting heart rate. So over a period of time, you can track कि आपका resting heart rate कहाँ पे है. And this once in a year annual checkup will not give you these parameters. So if you're actively working on your health, wearable device, so I'm wearing the Fittr heart ring.
I was just going to ask about this very cool accessory that you're wearing.
So this is our Fittr heart ring. A lot of people wear, and I also used to wear the watch, the fitness watches, but it's very inconvenient when you're going to sleep. It's not, you can't wear it all the time. The charging time is ridiculous on it. You may miss almost half a day. So this charges fully in about 2 hours, and it lasts for 10 days, so I can just forget about it. I get all the metrics on my app, my Fittr Heart app. So this is the heart ring, which makes sure that your heart is doing all the work that it does and making sure that you are on track with your fitness. So what technology does for our fitness, I think we should leverage that. Like, I think India में वो होता है ना कि आप पहले की चीज़ें भूल गए हो, Ayurveda and all of this is very good. However, आप डेली लिविंग में कैसे अपने आप को एक्टिव रख रहे हो, गिवन आवर लाइफस्टाइल. हम अभी गांव में नहीं रह रहे हैं, खेती बाड़ी नहीं चल रही है, तो आपके नंबर ऑफ स्टेप्स यू हैव टू मेक श्योर यू आर मूविंग दैट मच बिकॉज योर बॉडी एवोल्यूशनरी वाइज इज डिजाइंड टू बी दैट वे. So this heart ring keeps those things in check. So it's very important to use tech to move forward and to track how you're doing what you're doing.
So apart from the heart rate, what else are the other advanced technologies that you'd like to have the heart ring to have?
So when we talk about preventive health, and I think there are a lot of things related to it. We hear about a lot of people from in a very young age passing away from heart attacks. And I think in the media what is highlighted is where they were while the heart attack happened. That is not the point कि वो ऑफिस में हैं या ट्रेडमिल पे हैं या कहाँ पे भी है जब that is not the point. The point is what were they doing before then? Not just the day before, but many weeks and years before that it happened. And what were the warning signs that they've ignored up to that point? Was their sleep on point? Were they managing their stress properly? उनका mental state क्या था leading up to that? What were the medicines that they were consuming before then? So all of these things become important. And knowing those early triggers and the ring being able to, you know, capture that data, it does state that it does it. So a couple of wearable devices do state that they'll give early warning signs. However, they're not there yet, they're not reliable. So we'll slowly reach that point. Then there's the thing about fall detection or accident, what do you call it, when it happens so that you capture it on time. So if you have aged parents and if you're not in the same city, you can use these wearable devices to keep a check on their health as well. I don't mean be a big brother and nudge and call them and make their life very difficult, but to make sure that they are healthy given the age. They are doing what needs to be done. If an accident happens or if they have a fall, you'll be notified immediately as an emergency contact. So these are the things that tech can help us with.
That's an extremely good point. This is a concern that every family has, and these are portable devices, wearable devices, and that can make life so much simpler, so much easier. Keep a track of how your health is, especially for your elderlies. That's a fantastic point with how technology is changing.
A couple of other things if you're in your fitness journey is sometimes कुछ लोगों को नींद 4 घंटे में ही पूरी हो जाती है, कुछ लोगों को 10 घंटे नींद चाहिए, right? So the ring basically gives you personalized, customized understanding of how much your body has recovered. It measures what your heart rate has been after your 8 hours of sleep or 6 hours of sleep. Regardless of the time of day that you're capturing that sleep, it will give you a score and say, even if you sleep at 2 but you get up, you finish your 8 hours, is that okay? So all of these things customized to your lifestyle, it can tell you. Otherwise, it becomes very confusing. Where are you? There are different monitoring devices for glucose, heart rate monitors. So these things basically allow you to customize your diet and fitness according to your lifestyle and preferences.
So now there's technology that's customized for you and your needs. But then there's also a problem with technology where we start doing our own little searches, where we start Googling what we need to do. We start to go on Google and start typing, how do I lose weight in 2 days? So I'd like to ask you, what is that one myth that you'd like to break right now? That a myth about fitness that people generally tend to follow and they should stop immediately.
Instead of that, can I invite someone, like if they want to clear any myth that you have, anything which is stopping you? Can we do that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is there anything that you think is stopping you from your journey?
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. My name is Anushka Maheshwari. Basically, I am a student right now, and I want to enhance my personality by gaining some weight and having some fitness lifestyle, like not a lazy people, and I don't want early diseases. Like we are able to see heart attacks in this age group or this era is too much. So I want कि what should I follow, what should I do, and what kinds of myths are there जो हमें इन चीज़ों को करने से रोक रहे हैं.
Thank you. What's your name?
Anushka Maheshwari.
Anushka. Thank you, Anushka,
Thank you,
for that
Anushka.
question. Just before I came on stage, I think there was also mentioning that besides weight loss, which I understand is a major concern for people, a lot of people also want to put on weight. And the general answer is, "Arey, khana khao." Right?
Yeah.
आपको weight put on करना है, खाना खाओ. However, there is a difference between आप क्या खा रहे हो. So, are you putting on fat or are you making your body and heart and everything stronger? So, what we typically say is, for those people, you also, like people who want to lose weight, we tell them that you need to count your calories. Not just count your calories, but we tell them approximately what breakup of nutrients they need. Similarly, for someone who wants to put on weight, healthy weight, don't eat junk calories. What that's going to do is put a lot of stress on your organs and just put a lot of fat at the wrong areas of the body, like around your organs, which is ectopic fat. It's not good. What you need to do is fill up your body so that your muscles are stronger. And women lifting weights is something that I do want to address. I lift weights. I've been lifting weights for 8 years. However, if you look at me, I don't look bulky, I hope. And what it does is it gives you, you talked about posture and you talked about, so it gives you that the strength in your core and your body to be able to do the things that, for example, carry your shopping bags or, just stand taller. It's given me a lot of mental strength as well. Just lifting weights has made me think of myself as stronger, and I think women can make use of that in different ways. A lot of women in our community who started lifting, they have completely had a change in their mindset about what they can do. So the self-belief that comes from lifting weight. So I would recommend, if you want to gain weight, eat right, eat the right amount of calories, a little bit in excess, but make sure that that's protein which supports your muscle formation. Lift weights. So we just keep it simple. That's what you need to do. And the myth around women not lifting weights, I would like to bust that today.
And all you need to do is log on to the Fittr app, get a personalized chart, understand what your body needs, and plan accordingly, right?
Yes.
So when you form a personalized chart on the app, how does it work? What are the details that people need to fill in? What is the data that you need? And are you giving them a proper diet plan, exercise plan? How does it work?
So when you first download the app, we take down your details. So you have to share your gender, age, your current weight, your height. What this will allow us to give you is a plan as per the calorie needs that you have. We also ask you if you're physically active. If you're not, then you should be. And we basically tell you how much calories you need as part of the physical activity you have and the structure that you have. A lot of people come in with a goal. They either want to lose weight or gain weight, and you share that goal with us. And basis that, you will get the first diet plan is for free, so you will get that diet plan. You can change that around as you want in the app, so it's customizable. We don't need you to do anything fancy in terms of the kind of food. You don't have to eat kale or quinoa or whatever. You can eat your dal roti. What we insist and to make sure is that your plan has quantified meals. So we don't say ek katori dal, for example. That's what is different in Fittr. We'll tell you exactly kitni gram dal aapko khani hai. Because ek katori dal can be this katori, that katori, right? Some people make it with a lot more water, so it's diluted. You're not getting enough protein. So that's what's different. So you'll get your plan. The first plan is for free. You can read, you can educate yourself. So we have a lot of documents that tell you what to do after that first plan, how to take your journey forward. If you don't want to get into the science of it, then you can take a plan with a coach, and he'll guide you through the first 3 months. A lot of people want to try it on their own, and if you have any questions, you can ask in the community. People who are coaches will help you. There's no charge for that, because we want to make sure that not everyone can afford a personalized coach. So you can use the discussion forum, you can see transformation. They're very motivating. There are a lot of people who stay on Fittr for many, many years just for those motivations, to read people's stories and see what is the potential that you have inside of you also.
And you have transformed quite a few lives. I was following your pages, and the transformation of people from weight loss to gaining weight, I think it's phenomenal, the work that you're doing. I think what is important is also to be honest. If you're not physically active, please mention that on the app so you get the right plan. But nowadays, with the busy lifestyle, with work, studying, anything, is there an ultimate 10-minute workout plan that anybody and everybody should follow, or is it different for every body type?
It's different. The thing is, if you're not doing anything, then 10 minutes is also good. And basis where you are in your journey, if you're someone who goes to the gym for many years, your plan will be, the 10-minute will be different for you versus someone who just does walking and maybe some whatever, a lot of people do pranayam, etc. So your 10 minutes will be very different. It will be different based on what you do. If your stress levels are very high, we need to get that under control. Otherwise, your hormones will be all over the place. They'll not let you gain or lose weight, right? So there are different ways in which the 10 minutes can be spent. But even if you have 10 minutes, spend some time to get yourself ready for the rest of the day.
So with changing technology, I'd also like to ask, I think it's a question that everybody has in their minds, how reliable is the information right now? Has tech reached that level where we can trust everything that our wearables telling us? Or should we at least go to the doctor and ask questions? So how reliable is all the data that we get?
So there's always a margin of error in the devices that you use, even your fitness watches. So for example, the ring, because it's the extremity of your limbs, it is slightly more accurate. However, it will not be spot on. Like for example, it might overestimate your sleep by 10 minutes and therefore your score might vary a little bit. That's there in all devices as a margin of error. However, what you need to focus on with these devices is a trend. Is it trending upwards, downwards? And that's what you will get an idea of, okay, I'm going in the right direction, or where are things going? So that's what's more important. With respect to using them as detection method for lifestyle conditions, you really should consult your doctor and have the blood work, etc. done. There's no replacement for that yet.
Okay, absolutely, yeah. So don't believe everything, but yes. But please have a healthy lifestyle. In case anybody in the audience has any questions that they'd like to check, they'd like to know what fitness mantra works for you, a myth that you'd like to bust, you can always ask those questions. Think about those questions. We have a mic for the audience. So in case you do have a question, while people are thinking about the question, I would like to know that one moment, when you started your fitness journey, what was that one moment where you learned something very different, very new about nutrition, exercise, that changed how you looked at exercise and fitness?
I think one of the things that I have realized over time is the role of protein. And a lot of people think that they're meeting their protein intake. I will tell you now, and you can estimate if you are in your daily life meeting that intake or not. So why protein is important is not just muscles, it's important for your hair, nails, skin, everything. A lot of people, when they see the transformations that people go through, they say, ye khale se gora kaise ho gaya hai? It's because, you know, your skin cells also rejuvenate while in the process. So even if like weight loss is not your goal, make sure you're meeting your protein intake. What is an optimum protein intake? If you are not exercising every day, not doing extensive exercising like athletes, you need to at least have, if your body weight is, let's say 60 kilos or 70 kilos, you need to have at least 60 gram or 70 gram of protein every day, right? Let me put that in context. One katori of dal, now I'm using that measurement, 50 grams of dal, let's say, has about 6 to 7 grams of protein. Okay, so even if you're having 2 katori dal every day, you're just having 14 grams of protein. Maximum, like that's a very dense sort of dal. A glass of milk has about 6 grams of protein. An egg has 6 grams of protein. So for you to complete 60-70 grams of protein is what you need on a daily basis. Leave aside the fact if you're exercising or not. If you're exercising, you need a little bit more. So if you're a vegetarian, especially now during Navratras, how are you completing your protein intake? We as a company do not talk about supplements because people are scared of them. However, in your daily diet, you can complete your protein intake. There are there's paneer, which you should have ideally every day, or soya. So soya is a complete vegetarian vegan protein. You need to incorporate soya, not soya chap. Soya chap is full of fats. So that's not the soya. You need the soya chunks that you have. That's what will help you finish your protein intake. Dairy is also a very good source, from cheese to eggs to. So if you do, just go back and use an app like Fittr or any other app to check how much protein you're having in a day. If you do that, a lot of things in your body will rejuvenate. That's what I realized a couple of months just.
I saw a lot of heads nodding, like, yes, I agree, those are points noted. We do have a question in the audience. There is one question. We have a question there.
Hi, this is Shivangi. So personally speaking, like when I started my fitness journey, and in a span of 1-2 years, I lost about 10 to 12 kgs, and I did it by fasting. I didn't have much knowledge back then in college, and then I did a bit of, Zumba and dance fitness and all of that. But I never did strength training, or I never gone to the gym back then. But then there comes a point when your weight gets stuck. So at that level and at that point, what should we focus on more? Because currently it's been like 3-4 years that I've been doing exercises and all, but I'm not much into weight training. So I'm confused as if being a vegetarian, should I focus more on my diet, or should I focus more on my exercise, or should I do a mixture of both? And even in exercise, personally, I don't like weight training much, but I think I'm forced to do that. So I'm very confused regarding all of these things.
Okay, fair enough. So a couple of things that you've mentioned, I'll point it out. So when people lose weight by fasting, what they're basically doing is cutting off calories. So you're going in a calorie deficit. And your Zumba and other physical activity, that consumes more calories. So you are putting yourself in a calorie deficit, which will allow your weight to go off from the body. However, our bodies are very tricky. What they do is, so because they have to survive. They're saying, she's not giving me enough calories and there's so much work I have to do. So they become more efficient as using those calories. So we have like a thermostat in our body. So it dials down on the number of calories it can survive on. And it's probably shut off some functions which it says is not important right now, I need to survive. Depends on how low you've gone in your calories. So people who do this fasting or 10 दिन detox किया, weight lose हो गया, फिर वापस खाने लग गए, what you are hurting your metabolism. However, all is not lost. What you need to do is slowly, you need to get your deficit right. Right now your body is dialed down, so there's not much deficit. So what weight training will do is, it will make sure that when you're losing weight, you're not losing muscles. You're losing fat, which is good weight loss, right? And we say fat loss in Fittr, we don't say weight loss. You don't want just weight loss. So whatever exercise you pick up, at least 2 or 3 days of weight training, and once you start a weight training program, do the same program every day, you will fall in love with weight training. My husband, so he used to play a lot of sports in college, and he found weight training very, very boring. However, because he's married to me, he almost had no choice. So he started going to the gym with me, and now he absolutely loves it. Like, I think he is more regular in weight training than I am. So, because it changes the structure of your body, how you're walking, talking, whatever. So I think give it time, you'll enjoy weight training. You don't have to make it like your everything. You can continue enjoying your Zumba or playing games or whatever, but make sure that your calorie deficit is there. For a while, you might have to increase your calories to upregulate your metabolism. It's always good to be with a professional when you're doing it, because they can guide you and you'll not overshoot and be completely disappointed ki arey maine zyada kha liya.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I do have a question. So now the audience here is definitely very fitness conscious. They have a lot of questions. So I want to know, so we're talking about wearables, we're talking about technology as well. Would you recommend that almost everybody should probably have a wearable because it'll help keep a track of health? Is this how tech is evolving and how we need to use tech when it comes to health? Should we all invest in a wearable, a health wearable device?
If you are making a change for better health, like if you are actively pursuing better health, you should get a device which allows you to monitor, because what you don't monitor will never sort of get better. If you're regularly monitoring it, conscious of it, then things will get better. So if you are looking to better your health, do get a device. Earlier it used to be like a lot of companies have come out with like affordable options. There's EMI, etc. available. So you should be able to
With changing
invest.
technology, is this technology becoming more affordable?
Yes, definitely.
If I can ask about Fittr Heart, if somebody wants to Google Fittr Heart and get one wearable right now, what are we looking at? What is the price we're looking at?
So right now the ring is about 16,000. However, we have offers running on our website. You might be able to get it for about 13 point something. So, and then you have your EMI options available. The rings outside of India are a lot more expensive. They're almost double or almost triple of this price point. So we are slowly coming down to the range where it's affordable.
All right. So I guess with tech, people need to realize that don't just follow silly advice that you find on Google. You've done the science. You've got the science behind it. You've got the information. Go to the right platform. Get the right information. Use technology wisely. So we've got time for one more question from the audience. Yes, can we have the mic there? Okay.
I'll connect with you guys after the session.
First of all, thank you so much for organizing this event. Excellence, this thing. My question, I am Dr. Madhuvid, though I am not from health side, I am from education side. My question to you is, nowadays there is a lot of controversy on milk. You are touching the diet part and we are conscious. So just can you reflect upon this milk thing? And soya chunks that we normally cook in our houses. That also when I flew to New York last time, then there was a big controversy that we should not take it because nothing is left in protein as such in the processing part of soya chunks. So can you reflect upon that? Thank you so much.
Yeah, ma'am, you've asked a very pertinent question, a very, question which is alive right now amongst the health enthusiasts. One is the quality of dairy. There is a lot of adulterated dairy, let's say, especially now during the festive season when there's a pressure of all the mithais, etc. that comes out. Sometimes the demand outstrips the supply. And so when it comes to milk, a lot of people, you have to select your brands and you have to be careful about you have to be mindful of how that dairy is affecting you. So a lot of people do try different brands and see how their digestion is reacting to it. There are different forms of dairy. For example, curd is generally good to have because it's fermented and it's easier on the gut. A lot of people are not able to digest like a full glass of milk. I'm also trying to move away from dairy, partly because of animal, reasons like animal cruelty. However, so dairy is not essential in your diet. If it is, then you have to find sources which work with your body and make sure that you can track the source. So there are a lot of people who have their own dairy farms, so you have to spend that much energy in trying to find the right source of protein for yourself when it comes to dairy. When it comes to soya chunks, a lot of times we also have to use these nutrients in the form that they are also easily digestible. Soya beans in their original form, you will have problems in digesting them, and cooking them takes a longer time. So soya chunks is more easily integrated into recipes, and the process might take away certain nutrients from it. However, the protein content is intact. Like if you, and I would encourage everyone, when you're buying any food item, do read the labels. The labels will give you, and they are tracked by experiments, and they've research backed. If you read the label, it will tell you how much protein it has. So soya chunks are reliable because they have enough protein, which is there even in soya. So it's a myth saying that processing takes away the nutrients that we need, for which we are having those soya beans. I hope that answers. Thank you.
I'm sure the audience has a lot more questions. We don't have enough time. Is there a page that people can follow and ask you those questions and get answers? If you'd like to share your Instagram page or a channel where people can approach you?
I'm sure, like, I don't know if your generation is on Facebook, but you can definitely download the Fittr app. There in the discussion section, you can ask your questions. I'll be outside for some time. If you want, I'll try and answer your questions as well.
I'd just like to conclude, sorry, were you adding any more information?
I was just saying, download the Fittr app, and if you have any questions related to nutrition or physical activity or even mental wellness, we are there to help you and find your answers for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I do want to conclude this session with one last question. With technology changing, with health and technology working together, where and what is that tech that you'd like to see in future? What is it that you'd want your wearable or the technology or AI to help us with?
I would love to have some tech in my kitchen to manage my groceries. Like when it comes to wearable, it will tell me how much. So this is like the ideal scenario, right? Through my app, etc., I can track my diet, and it can tell me what recipes I need to eat, and basically tell the cook what they need to make. Or
These
tell
are
me
the items available in my fridge right now. Now give me something fit.
Or just order from whatever is necessary from the grocery. That's the integration that we're talking about. I guess we're here with the smart home solutions, and that'll be something that you guys will cover. When it comes to physical fitness, a lot of times when I'm traveling, there's, it's difficult to get the physical activity in. So if it can connect me to nearby places and events and activities where I can go and get my daily dose of fitness, that would be very helpful. And with the tracker on you, it can track you wherever you are.
And what kind of health tracking can happen? Like, apart from your heart rate, your heartbeat, what else can the app track? What else do you think technology can capture?
So technology also captures, and all of these go in as inputs for something like, it can tell you your stress levels. It can tell you if you're recovered the next day after your sleep, if you're recovered enough to get in on another exercise session. People who do intense exercises, that's very helpful for them, saying, oh, I'm recovered. Otherwise, they can suffer from chronic fatigue, which can affect their performance. Stress typically is something that your HRV, which is heart rate variability, will be able to track through the ring or any other variable. And I think we've not touched upon it, but the one thing that we need to all start doing is also meditate a little bit, so that, and meditation is found to be helpful across different types of stressors that we all have in our lives. So that's also something, if you meditate, your ring will tell you if you're doing it right.
Perfect. Thank you, Jyoti. This was an absolutely insightful session. Still a few more questions left, but I think everybody looks like they've learned something today. I definitely have learned a lot. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the interaction and questions. Thank you.